It's quite surreal to think that by the end of today's episode, we could just be at the top of the Vanarama National North League. And sometimes I just have to pinch myself. Hello everyone, welcome to Season 2 and Episode 6 of the Hednesford Town Career Mod on FM18 and the Road to League 2 Hednesford Town. If you haven't watched any of the episodes before this, I'd recommend you do on the playlist on the channel, or any random videos you want to watch, if any teams you're interested in, stuff like that. But manage to watch all the ads, which means I get all the ad revenue, and apart from that plug, let's just get straight into it, shall we? Now, the one thing that's really disappointing is the profit and loss accounts. The balance sheets, the cash flow forecasts look absolutely awful at the moment. The profit and loss just going like that. Not quite as extensively as that, but I'm really hoping, to be honest, that we can sort that out. And secretly, that we get maybe a Vanarama National League team in the FA Trophy, and then that brings a few fans in. We may well just do that, actually, and get a few friendlies in as well, because the finance is looking pretty bad at the moment, but we can sort that out, hopefully, in the future. So as you can see, we're only 3 points off the top of the table. That's courtesy of a win in the game against Darlington last time out. They were top of the table, which is a really big story, and Nat Jarvis and Mo Adams got the goals there for us, which is a really good thing, and obviously the two games before were on the previous episodes. We've only played one game since, but because we're playing Tamworth today, I thought we've got to play against our local rivals. Then we'll skip the game against Blythe Spartans and then play against Basford, who are in the league below in the FA Trophy. Right, so let's get straight onto the tactics screen. For today, we're playing Wallacott in goal, Bailey, Wheatley, Ballinger and Law on the back line. We've got Adams as defensive midfielder, Crooks and Forley as midfield, and then Fitzpatrick as attacking midfield. Crooks comes in because Laurie's picked up an injury, so Fitzpatrick had to go to central attacking midfield. We need another central midfielder. You can join the dots up. And then Davis and Skephorn play up front. The only reason that Dayton Giscombe doesn't play today, because he was going to play in favour of Fitzpatrick at central attacking midfield, is because he's injured to 2 to 4 weeks. So he can't get a place, unfortunately, today. So it's come at a time where our two central attacking midfielders have got injured. So hopefully Fitzpatrick can fill in fairly decently. So let's go then for the game against Tamworth, against our local rivals. And it's been a fantastic start to this season. I keep saying this every single episode, and it's just surreal to see, really. And it's not really the start of the episode anymore, the start of the season anymore. It's just the fact that, you know, we are seriously about midway through the season now. I think we've already played 18 games. It's our 19th game, and there's 42 games in the season. So by the end of December, we'll have gone halfway through the season. We're at the start of December now, and it's quite surreal to think that at this stage we are still in the playoff places. Sorry about that cut there, folks. Just had to go and quickly do something, but we are back in the game. You haven't missed anything. We're on the first highlight, and for them, Lim to Wally to Birch to Powell. Oh, that's nearly a goal for them. It hits the woodwork and goes over the bar. But as I said earlier, we can just go first place down. That'd be quite incredible. But they've got the ball back again. I feel like this is probably going to be the game on camera we lose, because form is like that. We lose to someone like our local rivals. And we're 1-0 down already. What did I say? Tamworth down, quite way down. Not way down the table, but quite a fair way down the table. We've just got to make sure, really, that we get sorted as quick as possible. Go on attacking, that sort of thing. And, yeah, that is not the best start to this game whatsoever. We won't watch the highlight because you guys saw what happened there. I don't really like watching highlights of whenever anyone else has scored. But we're now 5 points off the top of the table, which is a bit of a shame. Of course, Wrexham and Telford scrapping for that first place. And Darlington, after losing to us, will be a bit of a struggle to have any hope of going first, particularly today. And well, this is disappointing. We should really be beating someone like Tamworth. You know, I understand in this league that anybody can beat anybody, but at the moment, we're not quite doing it. 32 minutes in, we've had the same number of shots as them, and we've got just a little bit less possession. But it's not good enough, really. This isn't, and this is a real shame. The first time I've had to slap the squad on the wrist, if you like, for a while. But McCown put it into Lim, and he put it back into Reed, and it's 2-0 Tamworth. Feels like it was destined to happen, was this today. It feels like it's just one of them days that it was destined to happen. And it seems that we're just doing too inconsistent. You know, we've got on a decent run, and a loss like this, it won't turn into any bad form because the support for the management's still there. But we have these games that we have ups and downs. It's just so infuriating. And luckily, to be honest, nobody else has got massively consistent, because there's a lot of teams fighting for that first place. It's not like there's a team that's pulled away at the top of the table, if that makes sense. Because that's what usually happens, you know. You've got someone, in example, like last year with Shaw Lane, who pulled away, but then did lose it in the end. But we'll gloss over that. But is this going to be 3-0 now? It very, very nearly is, to be honest. And I need to have a shout at the players at half-time, try and get a bit of confidence back in them. But a goal just before half-time would certainly be good. And that certainly is not good from Wallacott. What a stupid pass that is. But Birch for them. Into Powell. He puts it in for Lim, and that's 3-0. What on earth is going on with our players today? As you can see, we beat the top team in the league last time out, so I don't know what on earth is going on here against our local rivals. And it's not my fault. I don't think I've got any part to play. We're playing the same tactic we played all season. And that was absolutely terrible. You know, I think that's a fair comment. And that was absolutely abysmal. Here's the new tactics screen. Looks very nice since the FM update, but we'll gloss over that. We need to make some substitutions. We'll bring Davies off for Jarvis, who can play as a defensive forward, of course. Change you to a automatic fullback, and we'll change you as well. And then you can anything else we can do? Look for overlap, shoot on sight, go route one, be more expressive, dribble less. Just try and get a few goals and get this back to a respectable level. Because I think the game's over. I think the game's over. It's quite inevitable that the game's over here. And that is, I'm just gutting on. I'm a bit gobsmacked, to be quite honest, because I did not expect that. I'm not being complacent or anything, but I did think that we could have beat them today. But Skephorn's got a goal early on in the half, just to show that we are back in it. But it's not going to count. I thought that. I had a bit of an inkling. That's why I was a bit reluctant to say anything. But we've lost the goal, which is a bit unfortunate. But there we go. You know, we scored a goal, but it didn't count, unfortunately, because I presume it was offside. Not that it looked offside or anything, but there we go. Right, we're 60 minutes into the game now. We haven't really got anyone on the bench. We've got Niven, who can't really do much. I suppose we can take Mo Adams off. It's really intriguing me how Crooks has got a 7.9. I don't quite know what that's for. I really don't get that at all. But we've got a highlight here. 62 minutes in. Dibble puts it out for Powell. Belinka gets that. Come on, we need to just get to these balls. We can't be putting passes out there and not getting to them like they are. Reed for them, and Wallacott gets the save. Well done, Wallacott. But at this stage, the game is over, unfortunately, I think. It's a bit annoying. I don't really know what to say, because I'm a bit flabbergasted and just a bit shocked, really. I didn't expect this at all. And even though they've made a bad pass, it won't harm them, because they are still 3-0 up, don't forget. And it seems that they are doing the much better out of the two sides. So this is not a good game at all. 15 minutes left. Might as well make another substitution. We'll bring Oshie on for Wheatley. And I think in January we might... I mean, we're playing well at the moment, but we might have a switch around with some of the players. Get rid of the few of the players on full-time contracts that aren't necessary. We've got one goal back, courtesy of Tom Forley. We might as well just go for it now. We might as well just go on... Do I go on overload? Yeah, let's just go for it. But yeah, what was I going to say? We might want to get rid of some of the players that are on full-time contracts that aren't playing too much. But luckily, to be fair, it's only really the first 11 that are on full-time contracts, apart from these few youngsters. So I've tried to send a few of them out on loan, but nobody wants them, unfortunately. So the only reason we want to send them out on loan is to kind of duck the wage bill a little bit and get a bit underneath the wage bill and kind of reduce our losses, because that's a real concern at the moment, but we can't seem to fix that. But I don't quite know what's going on there. Is it just because we... are paying players, you know, courtesy of about 100 grand a year now, and that's nearly 4-1. It's about 100 grand a year, I think, we're shelling out, because we're playing 10 players 10k a year. So that's what? A month? About 8,000, that's 3-2. Nice stuff from Crooks. So it's a little bit more respectable, and that's nice stuff. And apparently a deserved goal for Crooks. But I don't quite know what's happening there. I mean, to grow as a club, I think you've got to go through a few periods of losses, and just hope that maybe something happens, like an FA Trophy run, or something like that, to improve finances a bit. But if it has to happen, we get rid of a few players, and that's what has to happen. You know, we've got Wallacott on loan, so he's not paying us anything. But there are a few players that are maybe being overpaid, and yeah, well, with the underdogs out there, and we gave out the best effort. You know, you can't really be grumpy at the players after that, because at the end of the day, we did get it back to 3-2, so it wasn't all that bad. Even though we have lost, though, there, which is a bit disappointing. Even though we were away from home, but it's not really an excuse. So we have lost to our local rivals there, Tamworth, and let's have a quick look at the table as a result of that. I think we are still in the playoffs, which is all good. Yes, we are. We're still in the playoffs. Only 1 point into the playoffs, though, and we've now lost 6 games of our 19 this season. Still, it's not as bad as Stockport. I haven't even won a game yet this season. I would not like to be them. But Crooks, yeah, he's been trying to establish himself as a regular. He has had some interest from some clubs, but he's not interested. It's fair enough to him. He's one of them players who's not on a contract, so that's okay. But if we have a quick look at contracts before we go, if we just go on to, just check that this is the right, yeah, so it's first copy. Contract, as you can see, if we put the under 18s in there, wow, that's a lot more than I realised. So we've got, oh my god, that's why wow, we've got a lot of players on contracts. We've got more players on contracts than we haven't, if you like. And it's the youngsters that are taking it all up. But then again, do we keep the youngsters and then they might get a bit more money in the future? It's a bit tricky, isn't it? Because I don't know why, even though the youth players are still on $5.5 a year, that's a bit ridiculous. I don't know who negotiated that. Probably me. But Ben Bailey, yes, I can understand that. Macaulay Davis, who's a player that really... There aren't many players. That's the trouble. Maybe apart from Carter, who's been played 8.5, as well as the likes of Hughes, and I haven't filtered in unavailable players, have I? And players not at the club. That's a stark image. That's not nice. And Giscombe's still on a youth contract. So maybe, just maybe, because obviously a few of them have reached 17, and we have put on full-time contracts. Maybe I'll just not do that anymore, and that's probably the best course of action. But anyway, we've got a game against Basford in a few weeks. Got Blythe in between, so I'll see you for the Basford game. Few changes then for our game against Basford in the FA Trophy first round. Really exciting prospect to get into the first round as well. We've got Walcott in goal, Ballinga, White, Beatley. I was going to get Wheatley and Bailey in the middle, but I guess we can go Beatley to class them two players. Then Jones fills in for Law today. Burton, Adams and Crooks are the defensive trio, the midfield trio even. Then we've got Fitzpatrick as centre attacking midfield because Laurie's still injured. And then Jarvis and Kassem Hughes up front. If you remember, he played in the second qualifying round against Chalfont and actually got 2 goals. So he's well worth the pick for today. And I'd rather really put either Skephorn or Davis in. I thought they should be given a break because they haven't really been too brilliant lately. Another thing to take into account, we've also loaned out Matt Bauer to try and get the wage budget a bit more secure because they are paying the full length of his wages, so he's brilliant, and he's actually 4% of our wage bill. So I'm kind of sure that it will improve finances slightly. And also, one thing that it was saying here is that we've actually been able to increase our wage budget and also having increased the transfer revenue percentage because the board are quite happy with our performance, and they should be. So that's our team today against Basford, and hopefully we can get into the second round. So let's go for it. The only reason Giscombe doesn't play today is because he's injured, a bit like Laurie, as we said prior to this match. Just turn my speakers off, and if I need to dash in the middle of this, it's because there's a delivery expected at some point, and it's very important to say, there we go. Time to put an end to this poor run of form. We actually lost against Blythe, unfortunately. We lost 1-0 due to an early goal from Maguire. And we did go literally on overload for the whole game. We were so close. We must have had 2 or 3 chances, but they didn't pay off. So hopefully today we can win by a decent score. And it does bring the fans in, which would be nice to see. That's a good start, isn't it? I was just saying, we could get a few goals, beat these quite successfully. But that is clearly not what F1 wants to do. Within 15 seconds of that ball going off the line, it's in the net. That is not great at all. That is ridiculous. So the players need to show some passion. And it's not a good run of form at the moment, Ron. We're in serious danger of losing 3 games in a row and going out of both of the cups to lower league opposition. It'd be really unfortunate to go out of this cup because then we've only got league games until the end of the season. If you think about it, there's quite a long time before the end of the season. It's not even Christmas Day yet, so it's sort of quite a way to the end of the game. 27 minutes in though, this is a bit annoying. We still haven't scored a goal, and to be honest, I'm thinking we need to change the tactic because it's just simply not working. And it seems to have not been working for a while now, which is a real worry. And I don't know what to do, to be honest. Maybe we take... I'm going to take someone off early, I don't care. We'll take Burton off early and we will force it on. We'll play with a front 3 instead of anything like that. And he can play as a poacher, and we kind of need to sort that out because that looks a bit vile. We'll put Jarvis as that, then force it there. Just a bit logistically looks a bit better. And then ball winning midfield and support and all that sort of jazz. And then we need to go on control as well because at the end of the day we should be winning this game quite comfortably. So let's confirm the changes and hopefully that pays off a little bit before half time. At least we can get a goal. We've had more possession today, but I don't know what's going on, the last few games. It's a real shame because we've had a real good run of form, but it seems here we just cannot do anything. And as I said before, we're in real danger of losing the last 3 games, and in 2 of them we won't have scored, which is a real shame. And it's half time. Nothing's happened. We've got to give the players another scream again. And they've got to show me something else in the second half. We're going to need to attack in the second half as well. And here we go. Let's start the second half. 45 minutes to go. And really, the littlest mistakes possible would be nice. Hit overlap. We need to go narrow, more expressive, and dribble less. So, oh god, there's another highlight for them. Campbell to Hearn. Oh, honestly. 2-0. This is ridiculous. Why all of a sudden now we're having a bad run of form, I simply don't know. I really do not get it. It's really annoying. If we concede again, I swear to God, this is going to be embarrassing. Right, for them, Reed. Bellinger gets it back, but only temporarily. Campbell then. To Baker. To Gilpin. They're just running rings around us. It's ridiculous. Gilpin puts it in for Campbell. It's 3-0. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I don't get this, you know. I really do not get this. I don't get this game sometimes. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. How are we 3-0 down to a team that are the division below? I'm just speechless, honestly. I cannot believe it. We are 3-0 down to Basford. It should just not be happening. Make that not even 3-1, because Hughes can't even strike it. How embarrassing is that? We've been given these opportunities, we're just not taking them. This is embarrassing. This really is embarrassing, and we need to rethink really quickly. Because we're going to be out of the FA Trophy. Brilliant for Basford, they move on, but we're out. And there's a problem with that revenue thing, that, you know, we weren't going to get any exposure. And I said last year, you know, it'd be good to get a good run going in the Cup. But it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened in this league. It hasn't happened in the FA Cup. And we've gone out to lower league opposition in both. And there's a serious opportunity now that we're going to go for a real bad run of form. And we're 4-0 down now. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. How can a tactic that's worked so well for a year and a half crumble now? I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, we've had 19 shots. I've had 8. We've had 19 shots. And we can't get one away? Seriously? Whereas they've had 8. In fact, that Campbell bloke can come and play for us. Because our strikers clearly can't score. We've had 19 shots. And not even a goal. And that's 20 shots now, and not 1 goal. They've had 8 shots and 4 goals. You did the maths. 50% conversion rate. For us, 0% conversion rate. Absolutely ridiculous. I can understand, you know, a tight 1-0. Fair enough. But we've been humiliated today. And that's a real dent in A, our playoff hopes. B, any hope of increasing our club reputation, because we're going out early in all these competitions. And after a really good run of form, this is seriously bad. This is ridiculous. And we can't even get a goal there. There must have been about 8 of our players up there, and we're just getting mugged on the counter-attack now. Thank God Wheatley's there to put a slide tackle on nice. I mean, our only decent player, it seems, today. And Walcott's had a rare bad game. Is this just a blip? And if it is a blip, it's got to be sorted quickly. And force it now. Put it into Hughes. Fitzpatrick. They're just mugging us. I mean, they're a lower division team, and we can't get a goal in. And that is terrible. We're not clinical by any stretch of the imagination. Now, the 22 shots we've had, 24 now, that's 6 shots on target. That's absolutely appalling. That might well be because of good defence from them. But even though it might well have been good defence from them, they do not deserve to be 4-0 up if we've had the domination of the game. And they might deserve it in terms of they've played well, but as in, they don't deserve us to be crumbling like this. They shouldn't be winning, that's what I'm trying to say. I think that's the most fair observation to make. But that's absolutely ridiculous. We're out of the FA Trophy, and unfortunately, we can't even score 1 goal. And unfortunately now, it's just going to be league games at the end of the season, which is great, because we get to focus our attempts on a league. But imagine now if we get out of the playoffs, we don't get playoffs. You know, we were lucky last year to get in the playoffs. And this is a real concern. We need to seriously have a rethink. That's the final whistle. Basford have beat us 4-0. That's crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous. I just can't believe it. I really cannot believe this. Let's go and do a quick team meeting, because that's, I think, what is required at the moment. We're out of all the competitions, unfortunately, now, so all we've got left is the Vanarama League North. It's a massive shame, to be quite honest. You know, we're not even in January yet, and all our hopes are done. And as you can see, Hednesford pay for missing chances. And I bet we're going to be slaughters in the press, so I can guarantee that. So our next match is in 7 days against Brackley, because the Nuneaton one has been rearranged now. We'll just do a quick team meeting. We need to go on dynamics. Team meeting. Passionate. I'm really sure. Yep. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's increased stuff a little bit. But right, let's go on to the schedule. So I'm not really fussed about when we come back. We'll probably come back for 2 games we haven't played so far. We'll come back for that FC United and Manchester game, and also a game against Nuneaton. Why not? We'll see what happens there. And hopefully, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I certainly haven't, because I'm gutted, to be quite honest with that. But anyway, hopefully we can get this rut sorted, because if we don't, we're in big trouble. And I've been TIJ. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 PM as always. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.